Well, hang on, boss. We're on the clerk now. If you got questions, we'll answer them after. We're not going to leave you wondering what's going on.
We're just waiting for the public defender.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do we know who met with him earlier?
King, do you remember maybe you talked to earlier? We do not, ma'am. Let me make a phone call real quick.
Thank you.
Your Honor, do you know if they're still working on getting that breakout room set up?
We are gonna see if they are getting connected to Zoom. Just one moment.
Thank you.
Your Honor, sounds like it was Mr. Raleigh out of the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Let me find it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kyron Kemp failed to appear. Where's Mr. Dalbert? Oh, maybe I missed something. He's a temporary sign. Yeah, Tease Ryder and Tammy Allen failed to appear. You can submit default. Walter James failed to appear, and then Raymond Burkett also failed to appear. Both were serviced by attachment, so they'll both be reset. June 21st, 8:45. June 21st at 8:45 for both.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Blackman's all set?
Yeah, I just put, on that.
Just waiting for the public defender to log in so we can. Raleigh? Is it Jacob? Jacob Raleigh? Do we have a number? Oh, there he goes. Okay, good morning, Mr. Raleigh.
Good morning.
Can you say something for us? You're really low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we're on the record. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tommy Lee King, file number 23-01832FY. Appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Jacob Raleigh appearing on behalf of Mr. King for the purpose of his arraignment only.
Okay, Mr. King, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. King, today is the date and time set for an arraignment. I have here a felony complaint. The allegations are that on or about June 13th, 2023, at the area of Lenawee in South Washington, that's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, that you did allegedly in count 1 commit the act of stolen property, receiving and concealing a motor vehicle. The allegations are that you did buy, receive, possess, conceal, or aid in the concealment of a moped or stolen moped vehicle, knowing or having reason to know or reason to believe that the motor vehicle was stolen, embezzled, or converted. This is done contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.5357. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 5 years and or $10,000 in fines, or 3 times the value of the motor vehicle, whichever is greater. To impose a fine of 3 times the value, the defendant must either admit the amount or it must be determined by the trier of fact at trial. Court may order reimbursement to state or local government for expenses incurred in relation to this incident, including but not limited to expenses for emergency response and prosecution. There's a count 2 of attempted police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. It alleges that you did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed to in the perpetuation or was prevented in the execution thereof, contrary to Michigan compiled law 750.92. That is that you allegedly assaulted, battered, wounded, resisted, obstructed, opposed, or endangered Officer Tyler Stylus and an Officer Damon Pulver of the police officers of the Lansing Police Department and that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties under MCL 750.81 D1. That is a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 1 year and/or $1,000 in fines. There is an habitual offender second offense notice. It says, take notice that the defendant was previously convicted of a felony or an attempt to commit a felony, and that on or about March 6, 2023, he or she was convicted of the offense of carrying a concealed weapon in violation of Michigan Compiled Law 750.227 in the 30th Circuit Court for Ingham County. Therefore, defendant is subject to penalties under Michigan Compiled Law 769.10, 1.5 times the maximum sentence on the primary offense or lesser term. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term for the first conviction. Mr. King, do you understand the charges read in counts 1 and 2 in the habitual offender notice and the maximum penalties?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You are represented by Mr. Raleigh today for the purposes of your arraignment only. You do have the right to have an attorney to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, but you economically qualify, you can be appointed a court-appointed counsel through the public defender's office at the expense of the public. Do you understand that, right?
Yes.
Is he requesting court-appointed counsel?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and then Mr. King, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything that you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You can plead not guilty or you can stand mute. If you stand mute, this matter will proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right in this matter to have a preliminary examination as it relates to count 1 because that's a felony. You have the right to have that preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date. That's the date of your arraignment. At the time of your examination, you have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, and that is to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime. If this matter proceeds beyond that preliminary examination stage and as it relates to your misdemeanor charge, you have the right to proceed to a jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charges being brought against you at trial. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand your rights so far?
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to confront, see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the prosecution intends to call against you in court. You have the right to call your own witnesses to a trial or present evidence at trial that you believe further a defense to the charges being brought against you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you also have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment. For the purposes of your arraignment, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. That's correct, Mr. Raleigh?
Yes, thank you.
Currently scheduled for probable cause conference Thursday, June 22nd, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning before Judge Stacia Buchanan. You have a preliminary examination before Judge Stacia Buchanan. It's currently scheduled for June 29th, 2023 at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's in person at the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that exam will proceed at that time unless you waive the 21-day timeline or if the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21-day timeline for that date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have a current home address?
Yes. 4614 West Michigan Avenue.
Is there an apartment?
I stay with my sister. It's a house.
Okay. What's your phone number?
My phone number is 248-510-3920.
Do you have any questions for the court at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
Yeah, I'm on probation.
At the 30th Circuit?
Yes.
Are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
When were you placed on probation?
When was I put on probation?
Yes.
I think I got put on probation like in October or something.
Which judge?
The judge was, I can't think of her name. It's in the 30th court. I can't think of her name.
Okay. Do you have a matter pending in 30th Circuit? Because that's what I see. See that you have a matter pending currently before the 30th Circuit for controlled substance delivery manufacturing. I do not see probation.
No. I'm trying to think of the girl. I don't know. I forgot the judge's name. I can't believe that.
Okay, but you do have a matter pending?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to first note that Mr. King tells me he has lived in Lansing his whole life, of course, his family in the area. I don't believe he's a flight risk by any means. I think he has every intention of coming to his court dates, and I don't believe he has a history of failing to appear. I also would note that I don't believe there's any allegation of any kind of assault or violent behavior with regard to this case or the matter that he has pending in the circuit court that he's just speaking about. I don't believe he's necessarily a violent individual. However, I do understand he has this bond situation with the 30th Circuit Court. There may be an issue there. So for that reason, on this case, I would simply request a low, perhaps 10% bond.
Okay. What makes you believe that he does not have a history of failure to appear?
Just my conversation with him this morning, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. King, you informed him that you never missed court before?
Have I ever missed court?
Correct.
No, I never missed court. I always showed up to court.
Okay, our records reflect that you have more than 2 failure to appears in court. You also have a history of violent convictions, more than 2 violent convictions. Did you forget about
like I
those,
said.
sir?
No, I just know that I do got like I said, I always showed up to court. Always.
Oh, okay. That's not what the record of the courts reflects. The record of the court reflects that you do have a history of failing to appear. It also reflects that you do have a violent history with more than 1 violent criminal conviction, actually more than 2 violent criminal convictions. On top of that, there's concerns that you are currently on probation based on your statements, but at least out on bond on another pending matter. And so because of that, personal recognizance bond would not be recommended, but I will grant the request for a 10% bond. Bond would be set in the amount of 10,000, 10%. While out on bond, you have the following conditions. You need to report to all of your court dates. You're not to use, purchase or possess alcohol or drugs while you're out on bond. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Do you have any questions so far?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody, okay? If your address or contact information changes, it's your responsibility to contact the court with updated information immediately, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about your bond conditions?
Oh, ma'am.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Hiram Kemp.
Yes.
Okay, is it Chiron or Chiron? I don't know why we're having a feedback through him. You know? Okay. Mr. Raleigh, I think that's the only one I had for arraignment.
Thank you. I'll disconnect then. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who do we have here?
Debbie Ruby, she says she's the power of attorney for Engelbrecht and Dan Butts.
Power of attorney for,
Engelbrecht,
okay, where is Engelbrecht?
I asked her if she was coming, she said no. And then Ms. Butts,
And who else?
the defendant Butts.
Who's Deanne Butts? Okay, and your name, ma'am?
I'm Debbie Ruby.
Okay,
I'm power of attorney for Monica Engelbrecht.
okay, that doesn't give you the right to proceed in an eviction on their behalf. You're not an attorney.
We did this same thing in December.
Okay, where is Engelbrecht?
Pardon?
Where is she?
She's at home.
Okay, so she's on it.
She's an elderly lady. She's
Oh.
my mother.
Okay,
We took them to court in December and she signed a condition for dismissal that she would move out by December 19th.
oh, well, this is a different eviction then, correct?
I mean, it's
Different
they still
case.
haven't left.
I recognize that this is a different eviction. Correct.
I mean, it's continuing from before. They were supposed to leave and they have not yet left. And they're not.
I'm asking, is this the same case or was that case dismissed?
It was a conditional dismissal if they moved. but they
Okay,
didn't
so
move.
when they didn't move, did the conditional dismissal under those terms would have allowed you to seek a writ if they didn't follow the conditions, correct?
I'm not an attorney. I didn't understand what to do.
That's not what I'm asking you. You have a copy of the conditional dismissal?
I do.
Let me see it. Who signed for the plaintiff in this matter?
I did.
You did? That's, what's your name again?
Debbie Ruby.
Okay, you signed for the plaintiff. The plaintiff was present?
No.
Okay, a power of attorney does not give you the right to appear in court before someone. You have to hire an attorney. You can't represent her in court. That's not what it allows you to do. Do you know what a power of attorney allows you to do?
I was here and they allowed it.
Oh, well, you're not here on this case. This is a different case number that I have, okay? And it's not my issue that another judge allows you to appear as a power of attorney to represent someone. You can't appear and represent someone with a power of attorney. An attorney has to represent that person. You can assist them with asking questions for the attorney or understanding settlements and things of that nature. You can't appear as them or as their counsel, is what I'm telling you. So I'm gonna give you one of two options. I can reset this so you can go and get an attorney or advise your mother how to get an attorney as her power of attorney, or we can dismiss the case today. Which one do you want to do?
We'll get an attorney.
Okay, so I'll reset it so that you can get counsel to represent your mom, or if your mom can appear, you can be with her and help her through that process. I don't know what her current state is, but you can't appear on her behalf, okay? Another date.
Can I still do a writ?
Under that eviction?
Under this eviction?
That you had to go down to civil if she did not and file paperwork indicating that she didn't follow through with the conditional dismissal. And if that judge's file reflects that she didn't follow through, then they'll grant you the writ, but you got to go down to the clerk's office. I don't have that file to see what was in there. I don't have a clue what happened. Okay. First, June 21st. June 21st at 11 a.m. will be the new pretrial date. We received, I believe this is a counter complaint, ma'am, from you. This is a counter complaint from you. Okay, and you've served this on the plaintiff?
Yeah. Well, I have not, no, not personally.
Okay, well, you probably should do that. It's in the file. And then you're here today. We can go over your rights today since you're here. You can do an intake with legal services today if you'd like, okay?
Yeah, I've actually done that too already.
Okay, you've already done that.
Yeah, I've looked into a few different options. I never knew I could actually file a county suit, or I'd have done that back in July.
Stacy DePalma on this docket. Richards. Just spelled differently than on the docket. Let me see. Let's see, can you message and find out who these people are? Hi. Okay, do we know who is on the iPhone?
I'm sorry.
And I don't see DePalma on here either. I don't know. Okay, Mr. Kemp and Ms. Igby, today's the date set for a pretrial on an eviction matter. I'm gonna play a video for you. The video will go over your rights. It'll also tell you about resources that you may be eligible for during this eviction. We have representatives here today from Legal Services. We have our eviction diversion facilitator, and then we also have a representative from Advent House Ministries. They're available here to meet with you. Legal Services can do an intake to see if you're eligible to be represented by their office, and the other resources can meet with you to see if there's assistance that you can avail yourself of during this time. Janetta Polk could be a minute. Janetta Polk, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Polk. Today is the date set for a pretrial on an eviction matter for non-payment of rent. I'm gonna play a video for you. Pay attention to the video as it will advise you of your rights. It'll also go over resources that you may be eligible for during this eviction.
Okay.
Okay, we have
Yes.
representatives here from Legal Services. They're here to meet with you to do an intake to see if you're eligible to be represented by their office. We also have individuals here from Advent House Ministries, and then we have an eviction diversion facilitator here with the court. You can meet with either or both of them at the conclusion of the video to see if there are resources that can assist you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Richards,
Yes, I'm here. Mr. Richards is here.
how do you spell your name?
Christopher with a CH, RISTOPHER.
Okay, thank you. Who is Stacy DePalma?
She's my acting agent. The problem is I'm out of town using Wi-Fi. I'm in Europe, so in case my connection disconnects, we could take over, just in
Okay,
case.
sounds good. No
I do
worries, we just wanted to
apologize.
make sure.
Yeah,
We just needed to know who it was before we could admit them.
I'm sorry.
And all she just said she was with you. She didn't say who she was at first.
No, I'm out of the country, ma'am. And I just don't. If I lose my connection, I want to make sure somebody is still on the connection to discuss the
Sounds
issue.
good.
That's all. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. We're not gonna discuss any issues today because it's just a pretrial. So if you want to just leave her here to get your hearing date as you're out of the country, then that works.
Am I able to get off the phone then? She can take
That's
over?
correct.
Because
and she'll
I'm
take
so-
over. That's,
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I appreciate that so much.
you're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right.
Okay, for the tenants on the Zoom, I'm gonna play the video for you now.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate that so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
All right.
Okay, for the tenants on the Zoom, I'm gonna play the video. We're live streaming. That's what the problem is. In just a moment.
This video contains important information that may help you with your landlord-tenant case. The 54A District Court has an eviction diversion facilitator on site to provide non-legal assistance, such as connecting you to possible resources. Please contact Ulysses Rosa at 517-483-7608. You have a right to be represented by an attorney. If you do not have an attorney and you are able to afford an attorney, you might locate an attorney through the State Bar of Michigan by calling 1-800-968-0738. If you cannot afford an attorney, you may seek free representation from legal services. You should have received this information with your summons and complaint. We have a representative present from Legal Services who is available to speak with you at the conclusion of today's hearing. You have a right to a trial by judge or jury. Information about your other rights and the legal process is also available from the Guide to Michigan Legal Help at www.michiganlegalhelp.org. Assistance is also available from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. If you have a caseworker at MDHHS, then you should contact the Eviction Diversion Program line at 517-887-9595. If you do not have a caseworker, the court will provide you with information for a housing specialist or assistance payment worker at the local MDHHS office. Please contact that person immediately. These services are free. You do not need a judgment to receive assistance from MDHHS or Holy Cross Services. The summons and complaint from the court case are sufficient. If you have served in our armed forces, assistance may also be available from the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund. Contact 1-800-642-4838 and select option 6. Your landlord-tenant case can be resolved in a number of ways. One way to resolve this case is if you and your landlord reach an agreement. In such case, a conditional dismissal is possible when approved by all parties. The court can provide you with a form for a conditional dismissal. Another resource is the Michigan Community Dispute Resolution Program. If the court determines that your case can be resolved through community dispute resolution, then that resource will be coordinated by the judge. Thank you. Your case will be called shortly.
Oh, we gotta remove Mr. Richards. Okay, Ms. Higby. We're gonna set your matter for hearing on August 16th at 2 p.m. Did you want to meet with legal services or with Mr. Rosa from our eviction diversion program, or with the representative from Avon House today?
Yes, I would.
Okay, let me start you off with legal services.
Thank you.
No problem. Mr. Ronca, are you available?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, was she already in room 2? Okay, I'll add her to room 2.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kemp,
Yes.
the matter is going to be set for hearing. It's going to be August 16th at 2 p.m. Do you want to meet with legal services today, our eviction diversion facilitator and or Avon House Ministries? I couldn't hear your response. Okay. Ms. Bar, are you available?
Yes, Judge.
Let me put him in your room. I think you're in room 3.
Yeah.
What's happening here? Okay. Room 3. Mr. Doward, did you hear that date?
Yes, August 15th at 2 p.m.
Mr. Doward, Ms. Sorrell's logged in multiple times today, and then for some reason she kept getting booted. So because of that, we're gonna reset her matter.
Okay.
I'm gonna reset her for in person though. You can appear via Zoom, but she needs to come in person.
Okay.
It'll be the 21st at 8:15.
The 21st of June
Correct.
at 8:15. Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, Ms. Cole,
Yeah.
I'm gonna set your matter for hearing. It's gonna be on August 16th at 2:30. Did you want to meet with legal services, our eviction diversion facilitator and or Abbott House Ministries today?
The facilitator.
Okay, I'll put you in the room with Mr. Rosa. Mr. Rosa,
Thank you, Your
I'll
Honor.
add to room- No problem. I'll add you to room 1. Todd Bronson. It's here for it. Roberts did not appear. Mr. Bronson, Danita Roberts did not appear.
Okay.
You can submit your
Well,
files.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And then Ms. Kessler is here for an 11 o'clock with Mercedes Davis. They failed to appear. There was service by attachment, so I'm gonna reset it. June 21st at 9:45.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set.
Your Honor,
Yes.
in regards to Ms. Polk, are we done and we just wait until the next
Yep.
day? That's it?
Correct. You're done for today.
Thank you.
No problem. Ms. Lacy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you get your hearing date?
For Sandra Higbee?
Correct.
Yes, August 16th at 2 p.m. Is that on Zoom or in person?
That's via Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Same to you. And that is all I have, Ms. Tell.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I will see you next week.
Thank you.